Daily Dose. My name is Robert, and I'm here with Okeanis. We're talking, Dr. Val, about all things Parkinson's. In particular, sleep is one of your specialties. You're a movement disorder specialist by trade, is that correct?
Correct, by training as well as a sleep medicine specialist.
Okay, so let's talk about sleep medicine specialist. What does that mean? And maybe you can give me a global about humans and sleep, the value of it, so we can start with kind of a foundation there.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, sleep is important to all of us, not just for people with Parkinson's. Um, if we don't sleep, we die. It's as simple as that. We need sleep. There's a specific time that or length of sleep we need every night.
Mhm.
And that's around 7 hours of sleep. That's how much we, on average, plus minus, let's say, an hour. Too much sleep is not good. Too little sleep is not good either. This is the time where we now know that our brain clears up all the toxins that are piling up and being accumulated during our day, our daily activities and lives, how the amount of energy we use during the day then is transformed into certain garbage or toxins, if you will, and they keep on piling up in our brain. That gets washed out while we sleep. So if we don't sleep enough, then that washing out is not complete. And with time, we have the accumulation of these toxins or waste, if you will, that can lead to dementia and further neurodegenerative disorders. So this is why it's very, very important.
So that's what I was going to ask you. From a research standpoint, have there been clinical trial or clinical studies done that can point to lack of sleep leading to the neurodegenerative problems, maybe even Parkinson's? Is there a link between?
Oh, absolutely.
So there is. So that's well established.
There is well established. We recently found out more information about a system called glymphatic
Mhm.
system, which is exactly that. It's that clearing of that waste that piles up or accumulates during the day. And that happens when we sleep.
Now, see, and here's the messaging thing, the story part that I haven't heard because I haven't heard it said as clearly as you said, which I think is so important. That if we can say, look, preemptively, long-term chronic lack of sleep does lead to these specific neurodegenerative diseases. I mean, that alone should put sleep on a much higher level of importance, I would think, if we could get that message out.
Yeah. And it's not just the duration, it's also the quality. So if
Correct.
somebody is in bed for 10 hours, that doesn't mean they necessarily sleep. And if they keep on waking up, which is what we see in patients with Parkinson disease, that is a problem because their sleep is interrupted. The work is not done, basically. And a lot of misconceptions that I hear from the patients and people in general is that, oh, if I get REM sleep, I'm good. This is a good sleep. That is not actually, it's partially true. What you want to do is you want to get through all the stages of sleep. You want to go through all the cycles of sleep in order to obtain the benefits of sleep. So that's also very important.
This is going to be a crude metaphor, but something you said just reminded me, and I know it's a different bodily function, but it's related within Parkinson's constipation. Um, the clearing that we have or don't have, when one has a complete movement, you can feel the difference, right? Your body feels different. It's the same as when you have a complete night of sleep and there's a clearing. And I know what that feels like to go through the complete, I know, like you said, I'm an active dreamer in terms of, the lucidity. And I do tend to probably do exactly like I said. Well, I dreamed, I must be okay. So thank you for the correction on that. And I also know what it feels like when I go to bed. My wife and I had this experience. Went to bed about like 8:30 or 9 recently, and going to bed that early and waking up then at 6 without waking up. I couldn't believe how energetic I was. I was like, oh, that's what a full night of sleep is. Because I tend to wake up. I don't wish to, but yeah, I know the challenges of it.
Yeah, and your brain is clear and you can feel that energy. It's almost like I like your parallel thinking or yeah, example you gave, but also when you exercise, the same thing. You feel so energized and when you exercise regularly. So I call it the pillars of health. It's exercise, sleep, and diet. This is really what it's all about.
That's fantastic. Well, let's come back and let's dive into a little bit more of the specificity about. I want to talk about what you heard at the PMD Alliance. I know we're a month and a half out, but it was a really engaging time for me, and what it was like being there with Larry, number one, who's a best friend. Sometimes he's my stage partner. He was your stage partner. You guys did great together. So let's come back in the next episode and dive into that a little. Okay.
Absolutely.
See you on the next dose.